Good day, everyone. So today we're going to talk about PHP Loops. So in this particular topic, guys, pag-uusapan po natin yung iba't ibang types ng looping such as while, do while, for loop, and also for each, which is intended for arrays. Okay, so those are the things that we're going to talk about today. Okay, PHP Loops. So loops are used to execute the same block of code again and again as long as a certain condition is true. So in PHP, we have the following loop types. First, we have the while loops, wherein it loops through a block of code as long as the specified condition is true. Then we also have the do while loop, wherein it loops through a block of code once and then repeats the loop as long as the specified condition is true. Then we have the for loop, loops through a block of code as a specified number of times. And the last one, we have the for each loop, wherein it loops through a block of code for each element in an array. So basically, guys, yung for each is intended for arrays. Okay? Okay. So while loop. So ito po yung syntax ng while loop. First, we have the initialization part, wherein this is where we declare the particular variable. And then, meron tayong conditions dito. And of course, the incrementation. Okay? If ever you created a loop and hindi po siya nag-stop, baka hindi po natin nalagyan ng incrementation o di kaya decrementation. Okay? So, ito yung sample. So, x is equals to 1. And then, we have here yung condition that x is less than or equal to 10. And then, we do some incrementation here, wherein it will add 1 to the x. Okay? Okay, so we have here yung sample code natin. So, first is, as you can see, yung x po natin is may value ng 1. Then, the second thing na gagawin po natin is we need to compare. Is x equals, or I mean, it is less than or equal to 10? If yes, then we are going to display the result. Since meron tayong echo statement dito, then afterwards, we need to increment. So, the current value ng x will be 2. Then, compare na naman natin, is x less than or equal to 10? Yes, true. Then, display and increment. The current value is 3. Compare natin, is 3 less than or equal to 10? Yes. Then, display natin, and then, increment. So, same process po yung gagawin natin until matapos po yung looping. So, paano matatapos yung looping? If ever mag-false na po yung statement. Kagaya dito, there are 10. Iko-compare natin yung 10 sa condition is x less than or equal to 10. Yes, kasi equal pa yung 10 sa condition natin dito. So, magiging true and mag-i-increment pa po tayo. Now, the current value is 11. If we're going to compare, to check the condition, is x, which is the 11, is less than ba or equal to 10? Ngayon, it is false. So since false na tayo, we are not going to display or execute anything within this block. Okay? Tapos na po yung looping natin. So that's how while loop works. Okay po? Okay. So do while loop. So ito naman po yung syntax niya. First, initialization. Then, do. Curly braces tayo. Then, execute basically kung meron tayong mga code dito. And then, do some incrementation. And then, afterwards, make some condition. So, the difference of this do while to the while loop is that yung do while, execute muna before make the condition. Okay? While on the other loop, which is the while loop, conditions muna before execution. Okay? So ito yung sample natin, increment initialization, yung syntax ng do while, incrementation natin, and then of course yung condition. So dito sa code natin, first of course we need to have the initialization, which is the y is equals to 1. So dito, execute muna natin yung pag-print. Print muna natin. Okay? Once ma-print, that's the time na magkakaroon na ng incrementation. So the current value natin ngayon is 2. Is 2 less than, based on the condition, less than or greater, equal to 10 rather? Yes, true. Then, balik tayo sa structure dito. Display na naman natin. Then, increment, which current value is 3. Then, compare. Is 3 less than or equal to 10? Yes. Then, true. Balik na naman tayo sa taas. Display, increment, and so on until mag-false po yung statement natin. So, is y, dito, yung current value na natin is of y is 10. So, 10 na tayo dito. Nag-increment na kasi. Compare natin. Is y less than or equal to 10? True pa rin kasi equal sila. So, i-display pa print po natin yung statement. So, ka-display, increment tayo. The value now is 11. Okay, so is 11 less than or equal to 10? Basically, that is false. Kaya yung magdi-display lang natin na output is from 1 until 10. Wala na po yung 11. So that's how do while work. Execution muna, then condition. Okay? So let's proceed to the for loop. For loop naman, this is yung iba yung syntax niya comparing kanina kasi yung initialization niya is nasa loob na ng parenthesis along with the condition and incrementation. So we have here the initialization part, x equals to 1, then the condition and the incrementation side. So dito, halos the same with the for loop. I mean to the while loop. So incrementation, initialization rather, then i-compare natin yung statement niya. So basically, magiging true po yan. And then di-display natin, then increment tayo. Okay? Then, current value ng I is 2. Compare natin sa condition, magiging true. Display muna natin, then afterwards, increment. So, the same process with the while loop until mag-false po yung statement natin. Okay, so 11 na yung current value. So, hindi na siya less than or equal to 10. Therefore, mag-false na po yung statement. Okay? So, ganun po yung for loop natin. Halos the same with while loop. It just differs on its syntax. Po. Ngayon, pag-usapan naman natin yung sinasabing for each. So, paano ba yung for each? So, ito yung syntax niya. So, for each, open, close, parenthesis, and then we have here yung array as the value. The value will hold, of course, yung mga items within an array. So, sample dito, ganito. Yung red, green, and blue, and yellow na mga items will be placed in the value if we are going to use the for each loop. So, yung value variable, you can name it whatever you want naman. You can name it as item, you can name it as, let's say, color, singular form, ganon. So, having this code, you can set yung array in this kind of way, ha? Pwede yung one line lang. But for me, para lang maging readable yung array natin, inilagay ko sa baba yung mga item. Nag-new line ako para mas maging readable po siya. Okay? So, on how to do this in the for each, para ma-display natin yung list of items or names in a particular array, ito po yung gagawin natin. Names ay yung array. Of course, yung variable that will hold each item in every iteration. And then, i-display po natin. So first iteration, the value will be Raymond. And the Raymond will be displayed. Then jump tayo sa next item. Proceed tayo sa next item which now is Giovanni. Display natin. And then next iteration na naman. Myanmar, then display, then Jude, then display. Okay? So that's how for each work. It is totally intended for array. If you are not going to use for each, then you might use other looping. But of course, you need to determine the number of items na mayroon yung array para ma-stop natin yung looping. But for this one, no need to do that. No need to think about that. All we need to do is to pass the array there and then bahala na si for each ng process ng mga items within that array. Okay, so that's how for each work. Okay, so now let's try to talk about yung sinasabing PHP Break and Continue. This is intended for looping. So the break statement ends execution of current for each, while, do while, and also yung switch structure. Kung maalala nyo sa switch topic natin, switch statement, meron tayong break doon. Kasi can also be used in that particular statement. So dito, yung break gagamitin natin in a looping. Okay? So as you can see dito, yung output natin is dalawa lang. Bakit dalawa? Ano ba yung nangyayari behind the scene? So, if you're going to read the code, meron tayong for each, meron tayong statement dito, and that compare a value to Myanmar, and then we have a break statement. And afterwards nun, we are going to display. If we're going to iterate them up, first we are going to know yung value. The current value is Raymond. Next is we're going to compare. Is value equals to Myanmar? Of course, no. If not, then display tayo. Ma-proceed tayo sa part dito. Now, the next iteration, the value will become Giovanni. Is Giovanni equals to Myanmar? No pa rin. Then, we're going to display. Okay? Now, the next is the value equals to Myanmar? The current value now is Myanmar, and the thing that we're about to compare here is also Myanmar. Therefore, they are equal. Since they are equal, mababasa po yung break statement dito. Okay po? Which means, if we read or if PHP codes will read this one, what will happen? It will stop the looping. Stop na po yung loops. Okay? Kaya kung papansin nyo po, yung output lang po natin dito is dalawa lang. Hindi na po umabot kay Sir Myanmar and Jude. Only Raymond and Giovanni. Kasi the break statements will ends the execution of a particular loop. Okay? So, ini-stop siya. Okay po? So, that's how break work. If mabasa yung code na break, it will stop the looping. Hindi na siya magkukontinue ng pag-iterate. Okay? And of course, it differs from the continue statement. Kasi iba yung continue. Magpapatuloy pa rin siya. So, basically, continue statement breaks one iteration, only one, in a loop, and continues with the next. Okay? While yung break kanina, it stop entirely yung looping. While dito, breaks one iteration and continues with the next iteration. So, current value natin is Raymond. Okay? Ko-compare natin is Raymond equals to Giovanni. Giovanni yung ginamit natin dito. Since they're not equal, then display natin. Next is Giovanni is equals to Giovanni. Yung value na Giovanni equal ba sa Giovanni? Yes. So therefore, mababasa yung continue na word. If mabasa po yung continue na word, it will skip the loop and continue to the next items. Kaya yung mangyari, hindi na po madi-display yung result. And kasi hindi na po ito babasahin. From this point, it will go back up. Okay? It babalik siya sa taas. So, the current value ng variable natin ngayon is Myanmar. So, i-compare na naman natin, is value equals to Giovanni? No. Display natin yung word na Myanmar. And then, is Jude equals to Giovanni? No rin po. So, i-display po natin yung items. Okay? So, kaya, in our final output, meron po tayong Raymond, Myanmar, and Jude. Okay? So, that's how continue works. Okay? So, if ever may mga situation po that we want to stop a loop, then we are going to use break statement. If ever we just want to skip a particular item, then let's use continue. Okay? So that's how breaks and continue works in a looping. Okay po? Okay? So I think that's it. So I hope you learned something new today, guys, regarding our topic, which is about PHP loops, and of course, other control structure such as the break and continue statement. Okay? So just like I always say, just keep practicing and never stop learning. Thank you for watching, guys. Goodbye for now.